Curves in Maya, the complete story. So earlier I used curves to make a small axe in one of the modeling demos I gave, but now I want to cover curves completely within Maya. So here's the surfaces, here's curves, and here's curve tool. Now there's three ways to draw out curves. Okay, the first way gives me the ability with the tool settings to choose from linear or beyond linear. Okay, linear is from point to point to point to point. Okay, when I need to make a new curve for demonstration, I have to go over to the select tool and then reselect the curve tool. I can now draw 3 cubic. Okay, so from curve to curve to curve to point, it makes a very curvy surface. So the same with anything beyond linear, always looks like this. Now why 3 cubic? Well, between the vertices, I can right click and go control vertex. You notice that there is 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's always 3 that make up the curve. And that's why they are cubic. So between every curve. Even between these 3, these count as the 3, these count as the 3, these count as the 3. So what happens after this is I can manipulate these points pretty easy by using the move tool. There's no doubt about it. Okay. What they don't tell you in books is you can use Alt and the directional tool or the arrow keys on the keyboard to move these also. So if you need to really fine-tune adjustment, you can just use Alt and the direction keys. Okay. The second way of drawing out curves is a freeform way. Now the problem with this one is when you draw it out, it really adds a lot of points to it, so making it very hard to manipulate it after the fact. Right now, if I look how many control vertices there are, and I can do this using the channel box, so if I go to channel box, I have this, and if I click on it, there are 30 points running this system right now. Well, if I do use the pencil, I can go over in here and say rebuild curves, square box, and maybe choose something like half of that. So if there's 30 points, I can do this, make sure keep originals off, 3 cubic number of spans, and apply it. Oh, and I have to highlight it in object mode. So if I apply that, it rebuilds the curve very, very nicely. And now the points are evenly spaced around the curve. Please move on to the next video where I can cover more about curves.